Hey, welcome to The Journey. I'm your host, Dan Kinjorski, and my other host is Miss Barbosa, Krystal Barbosa. And The Journey is a podcast of Pathfinder Counseling Group and produced by Pathfinder Media Group. Please follow us and subscribe to The Journey, as well as to either Pathfinder Counseling Group or Pathfinder Media Group. We would greatly appreciate that as we get the word out on The Journey. Today we're going to explore the top level of John Gottman's Sound Relationship House, which is creating shared meaning.
Correct.
Krystal, would you talk more about that as well as point this out?
Yeah, so we're finally done. This is the last level, the very top level of Gottman's relationship house. And so what we're going to be doing today is talking about shared meaning. So what shared meaning is between the couple, it's your shared rituals, your shared values, your shared dreams, all of that. And it's not just one-sided, it's how you kind of blend them together to create, kind of like weave that marriage together.
So you said rituals, values, dreams?
And goals.
And goals. Okay. So before we go on, can you please help the audience understand what do you mean by rituals? We're not talking about weird rituals. Are we like the sacrifice of a goat or ram or anything like that?
No.
What's a ritual when it comes to John Gottman's house?
So with John Gottman, it could be as little as sharing a coffee in the morning. That's a ritual. Every morning, you and your wife have a little coffee together, kind of share how your day is for 5 or 10 minutes, and you're able to have that connection. They don't have to be long stints of time. It's just, it could be a minute, it could be 30 seconds, but having that connection. One thing with Gottman is that you're always working on that connection. It never stops.
Right.
It doesn't matter if you've been married 10 years or how long have you been married?
You put me on the spot.
I put you on the spot.
I think 36 years.
I was going to say 37. All right.
I think I started out telling everyone it was 37, but it's actually 36.
Okay. Well, it doesn't matter how long. I'm sure you can agree. It is something that we're always working on is getting to know our spouse. It's getting to know their dreams. And not only that, but sharing our own and seeing how we can weave them together into making a family and to making your own little unit.
Yep. So, I told, for a while when I was active duty chaplain, I would tell the troops that, at 7 years, I didn't really know my spouse. Yeah. At 36 years, I'm still working on getting to know my spouse. Even more so as we both are experiencing a new dynamic in our marriage. It's the workload here at the counseling group, or it's, having our grands come and stay with us for a little bit, our grandkids. Yeah. So we're always working on getting to know our spouse. I don't think there's an end to it, is there?
There's not an end to it, and I think you picked a perfect spot in the fact that we are always transitioning in different areas of our life. We have, when we first get together, our marriage, first children, as they go hit their milestones.
Right.
Empty nesters,
yes,
and as we continue and progress in life, there's always going to be a different chapter.
Right.
And with those chapters, we change.
Right.
How we like things, what we don't like, what we're able to put up with, all of that. As you get older, our patience gets a little shorter,
Right.
Things change. But the best part is that it doesn't matter that things are changing. Right. You have that communication with your spouse. So as you're changing, your partner understands and they're able to adjust accordingly.
Right. Have you seen, and I'll be honest with you, I don't think I've seen the movie Up.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen that Up?
Yeah, it's adorable.
It's adorable?
It is.
Does it speak about rituals, and does it speak about any of this?
Well, it actually has a whole scene, and I'm sure you know this. It has a whole scene of them.
You're pointing to Josh?
I'm pointing to Josh, but you people online also know.
Oh, okay.
But it has a whole scene depicting of when they first got together. It shows them laying on their couches together. They each have their own individual couch where they have their little book time or coffee together. And that's something that's reflected throughout the movie is the fact that, they had their own little thing, their own little rituals.
Okay.
All
right.
they end up laying down on a nice little blanket in the middle of the grass, and you can see that they're having time together. You can see as they're growing together, those things like the couch that they always sat on. He has his own little couch, she has hers, but together they grow, and it kind of shows a time lapse as they get older. Those rituals don't change. They still have that same couch that they have their little tea or their coffee together all the time together. So
Yeah, it's interesting. I think about Up all the time and how my wife and I should watch it.
Yes, you should. It's a tearjerker. I cried the first time I watched it.
I don't know if I want to watch it now. I don't want
It's
to
a tearjerker. It's a good one. It's good. It's good.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, so basically sharing your meaning together in depth is asking, like, why are we in this together, and what do we want to build together? That's the biggest question is, you get with somebody and you're blending yourself together, but what are we going to, with all these ingredients that you bring to the table and your spouse brings to the table, what can we create? What are our dreams? What do we want? And that's one of the 4 things that he talks about is the 4 pillars of sharing those shared meaning is having, like you said earlier, having that ritual of connection, having specific roles is his second one. So knowing what your role is, not only as a partner,
right,
but as a parent.
Right.
What is your role?
Or a grandparent.
Or a grandparent. What is your role as a parent? You always have that, you're the nice parent and I'm the stern one, and don't run to mom for stuff, we don't play mommy daddy games, those type of things, but knowing your roles.
I want to go back a minute.
Yeah.
You said, why are we in this together?
Yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure I've met, maybe I have, but I'm not sure I have met any couple that has that well defined.
That's correct.
And I don't see that in some of the marriage counseling we've done here at the counseling group, Pathfinder Counseling Group. I mean, why are we in this together? Can you speak just a little bit more to that? Why are we in this together?
Yeah.
Have you seen any of that in any of your experiences in any couples?
Yeah. So it kind of goes back to the beginning of Gottman, that shared love map, understanding one another.
Right.
And when you are understanding one another and getting to know one another, you want to understand, okay, you're bringing that to the table, I'm bringing this to the table. Now, why are we here? And when we're asking ourselves, why are we here? That happens a lot in the beginning of my sessions because we have couples that are very young.
Yes.
And they're asking themselves, well, why do I want to be here? Why am I married? Why did we get married? And quite often when we have these young couples, it's like, well, we were together a couple months and I really liked her. Okay, that's great. But you don't really know each other.
That's right.
You got to spend that time. And that's why we talk about this on Relationship House. So often we get couples who have been married for some time, but they didn't do these levels of work. So they don't know one another. They don't know those dreams. They might be trying, and they might want it, but they don't know how to get to that point. Right. You can't get to understanding your spouse until you've done the work of actually getting to know them. And that's why the beginning of Gottman, it's so important to know how to communicate, to say things in a calm way so you can have those serious conversations so you can actually figure out, what are we doing with this marriage? What are our dreams?
Yes.
So,
what are our dreams? Have you found anyone in your experience as a marriage and family therapist, right? And maybe you haven't, but have you ever found any couple who had that down pat?
No.
Yeah.
No. That is something that we all work on. And I don't think anyone will ever have it down pat. And I don't think that's a goal.
What is the goal then?
The goal is to get to know one another.
Okay.
Always to get to know one another a little bit more.
So there's not really an end state, is there?
There's not.
Yeah. So it's constantly getting to know one another.
Constantly. As long as you're in that relationship, it doesn't matter, like I said, how long you've known each other. You're always changing. We're always evolving. We're always dealing with new sections of our life.
Right.
New milestones. It just depends. And having those conversations as we're going through life, that's why communication is so important in relationships. So you can adjust. You can say, hey, you know what? I'm going through this, season in my life, wife, can you help me out? Or how are you dealing with this?
Right. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then it goes from rituals, roles.
And then the next one is personal and shared goals. So it goes beyond what are your dreams, but how are we going to do these things together? How
Okay.
can I help support you towards your dreams?
Right.
Because remember, we're now blending
Yep.
these relationships, we're blending these families, we're blending everything. And so instead of doing things individually, you're no
Mhm.
longer alone. How can your partner help you? How
Right.
can I help? Hey, babe, I'm going to start school.
Mhm.
Can you make dinner on Tuesdays and Thursdays? Because I'm going to be stuck at school late.
Right.
Those type of course, I
Mhm.
can help support that support.
Mhm.
And a lot of times when we get these, especially these young couples, they keep everything separate still.
Mm.
And it's not just bank accounts, which is a whole other story, but they keep everything separate, and that includes their dreams. They don't share those beautiful dreams.
Yeah.
They have their dreams, but they're both individual. They haven't yet weaved them together. And that is Gottman's thing, is if we're going to have a relationship, then we're
Right.
going to have a relationship, and having a relationship is weaving all of those dreams together.
Right. I like what you said about bank accounts, and that is a whole nother story,
Oh, yeah.
probably a whole nother podcast.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll definitely do one on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. I hear that.
It's definitely needed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because so many of us have separate bank accounts.
Yeah. And for different reasons,
Right.
obviously. Yeah.
Right. I remember. Oh wow. I remember a long time ago that. I mean, it's been. I think it was within 7 years of our marriage that we decided not to. Well, to merge everything.
Yeah.
But now we share she has a bank account
Yeah.
for her,
Yeah.
and we share knowledge of each, and we have both access to each.
Yeah.
So my wife can go out and go shopping anytime she wants, and
Yeah.
I don't have to be fearful of anything.
Yeah.
So anyway,
But
I've digressed.
No, you actually went to a perfect part. You showed how important it is to communicate.
Right.
You have that communication going, and so
Right.
it makes it easier. And that's why things like bank accounts are so important, because it's just another level of, again, showing all the cards.
Right.
In a great marriage and a great relationship, there are no secrets.
Right.
Showing all the cards like that, it's okay.
Right.
Showing all the cards like that is a great way of just saying, hey, I have nothing to hide. We're
Right.
in this relationship together.
Right.
What's mine is yours. Again,
Right.
it's all about the weaving of your relationship
Right.
and getting to know one another. No matter how long it takes, you're always growing together.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, no,
All
it's
right.
okay. The last one, though, is for him, he said, is shared symbols and values. So that includes the beliefs and then your own personal culture, which is, what do you two blend together? When someone sees you and Maribel together, what do they think of? Are you guys the party animals? Are you guys the house that they go to for the fun stuff? What are you known for? I know.
Yeah, we're party animals. We
There
do
you go.
dance offs. No, I'm joking.
I
I'm
don't know.
joking.
No, but what culture have you two created?
Right.
Because
Yeah.
you are going to create your own culture, just like the family that you came from had its own little nucleus of a
Yeah.
culture. What kind of culture are you creating?
Right.
For myself, we
Yeah.
are big baseball people. We
Right.
love baseball.
Right.
So our whole life is pretty much around baseball most of the time.
Right.
If it's not around our kids and their schooling, it's around baseball. And so that's our culture. If you come around us, you're probably going to be bombarded with some baseball facts.
Oh, good.
We love baseball. So that's kind of
Right.
our personal little culture, is we are a baseball family.
And there's another language here. Gottman would call it beliefs and culture and family culture, right?
Yeah.
I think what goes with that is family identity.
Yes.
Yeah, family identity.
That's good.
Yeah. I think that's part of
Yeah.
culture, is having your own family identity, because each family system have its own identity. I married Maribel. She brought in her family identity, and then I brought in mine.
Yeah.
And we come in and we merge them together to create our own couple identity.
Exactly.
Or culture.
Culture. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's important, and I can see that even in my kids' lives. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. No. And so sharing that culture is like, what does a meaningful life together look like? We don't have to be identical.
Right.
We're not marrying our twin. We don't want, I know they say opposites attract,
Right.
and that's quite often the truth.
Right.
But we don't want to have identical, and we don't need to be the same. And
Right.
that's okay. Quite often I get couples that are like, well, if we're not on the same page, then we're not going to work. No, you're never going to be on the same page. You got to find that middle ground.
Yeah. And, even in the ministry, I've heard it said, oh, you two have to be on the same page. you know, to do this or to do
work
that.
out.
And I think there's some wisdom in that. But
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, you can work through that to make a decision,
Yeah.
right? Yes, in some ways you need to be on the same page, especially if it impacts the lives of others.
Yeah.
But if it's just about the couple, you're right. I don't have to be like my wife,
Yeah.
and she doesn't have to be like me.
Yeah.
You don't have to be like Melvin, and Melvin doesn't have to be like you.
Exactly.
You know, Josh doesn't have to be like his future,
Yeah.
or his future doesn't have to be like him.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Josh looked
In
at
the
me and
end,
gave
though,
me that stern look.
In the end, though, I think the most important part of this last level is that it's not even about the couple.
Right.
It's about what the couple's leaving for their children. What is the legacy that you're leaving?
Mm-hmm.
You know, all these, you know, goals, all of these rituals, in the end, they're going to impact your children.
Right.
And your children are going to be the ones that grow from that.
But, you know, sometimes, too, and what I've noticed is that sometimes the children are doing a lot better than their parents in some cases.
Oh, yeah. And that's a good thing. That's what we want, in a way.
Well, at least that may be the perception.
Yeah.
You never know, really.
Yeah. Until they're older.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's definitely something that I think Gottman would love to, you know, make sure that his couples are doing, is that they're having those conversations.
Right.
Again, from the ground up. Mm-hmm. We're learning how to talk to one another. Right. We're learning the right things to say. Right. We're learning about our partner in a very calm setting. Right. And we're respecting them, even if we don't agree with them. Right. So, yeah, but that's John Gottman's 7 levels for the Sound Relationship House. Wow. Yeah.
Next week, we're going to discuss communication skills.
Yes.
And I think that's so important. And we really need to do that. We'll revisit Gottman at a later time, maybe more in depth. But I think it's important that couples, there's a lot more to communication skills.
Yeah.
And I know Gottman uses the terminology of soft and hard startups.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we'll talk a little bit about that and how to respond to a hard startup. And, you know, part of communication skills, too, is emotional regulation. Yeah. And as I'm talking about this, I'm reflecting even on my own stuff. Yeah. You know, so I think it's important that the audience is aware that there's not a perfect marriage out there.
There is not.
No. We're all growing, and couples should be at least moving forward and growing together. You know, there's, what is it? There's a song, it's in the 70s, I think. And Josh is going, oh my gosh, not now, Dan. But anyway, the thing is, it's no one ever promised you a rose garden.
Oh.
Is it? Do you remember that song?
I'm sure if I heard it, though. But it sounds pretty.
You
I should have known. No, I know 70s music, but
yeah, you don't remember that music?
The lyric. I can't remember that lyric from the
Yeah,
song.
no one ever promised you a rose garden. And I think that's the lyric.
Okay.
And I'm...
So why is it important for this section, you think?
Well, I think it's not just for this section. I think it's just for marriage in general.
Okay.
You know, this idea, Rose Garden by Lynn Anderson in 1970. I never promised you a rose garden. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, I beg your pardon. I never promised you a rose garden. Along with the sunshine, there's got to be a little rain sometime.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
and
that's good.
I think it's just important that our audience remembers that, you know, marriage is tough.
Yeah.
Why? Because we're all human, and we need to recognize our frailty,
Yeah.
our limitations.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when we don't allow for limitations in a marriage because we are perfect, or we are to wear that perfect hat, you know, I think we get ourselves in trouble. Yeah. So next week, we're going to follow up with communication skills. Okay? And I might even start out with reading that.
I like that.
That lyric again.
I like
okay?
It. Yeah.
Yeah. So please, again, follow us and subscribe to The Journey, as well as Pathfinder Counseling Group and the Pathfinder Media Group. We really need your subscription and followership. All right?
Like and support.
Yeah, like and support. There you go. Also, I want to put a plug in for Krystal and Melvin
Lopez.
Lopez. Thank you.
It's all good.
Tell us a little bit about your book that
Oh.
Melvin and you have written and so forth.
Yeah, so real quick, we're writing a series of books about autism. It's about a little wolf. His name is Liam.
Okay.
And he is one of a few characters that we've created for this book series that show the spectrum of autism. So if you've met someone with autism, you've met that one person because it has a spectrum of behaviors that can show. And so we have different characters some that don't like loud noises, some that struggle with, personal space, things like that. But the point of these books is to give parents an idea of how to work with their children during those times.
Okay.
And so a lot of parents struggle with it, and so we're going to give them some tips on how to work with their children.
What's the title of the first book?
Liam's Day Out.
Liam's Day Out.
Yes, Liam's Day Out, as he goes to a baseball game.
As he goes to a baseball game. Oh wow! I can't wait to read it. In fact, when are you guys gonna have?
So our first book is going to come out in June of 2016. 2026. Forgive me, I'm 10 years behind.
Do not edit that out. This is a funny. No, don't edit it.
No, it's okay. You can keep it. You can keep it out of mine. I like it.
I love the natural humor. The natural mistake. It's okay. It's authenticity.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so look for it next year. Yeah,
yes.
We'll keep you up to date.
Well, I'm looking forward to it because I want to read it to my grandkids.
Oh yeah, it's going to be good, and it's a whole series.
A whole series of books. That's awesome. Have a blessed day. All right.